data basics and beyond. My name is Omotayo Dwayo. Today we'll be looking at Google Sheets and collaborations. Lesson and examples on Google Sheets functions, which are the array formulas, query, and inbound range. We'll also be looking at the collaboration features in Google Sheets. Typically, when you write a formula in a spreadsheet, it calculates results for a single cell. If you want to apply the same calculation to the whole column, you will have to drag it, like you have to drag it for it to be applied. Unlike array formula that automates the process, when you wrap a formula with array formula, it tells Google Sheet to expect an array, which is a range of cells, as input and produce an array as output. For example, we want to get our price per unit, which is quantity divided by revenue. You say equals to array formula quantity as T2 divided by revenue. So array automatically, as you can see the result, we see that our array wrapped the formula and tells Google Sheet to expect array, and it produces an array of an output for us. So if you decide like, okay, I have more quantity and revenue I want to add, you can say 3 divided by, let's say, 350. And you see it automatically brings out our price per unit. If we keep adding figures, you see we keep getting an updated price per unit, and this is how array work. We can also use array formula to create a unique ID. For example, you have a table whereby you don't have a unique ID there and you want to create a unique ID. Array formula can come in handy for that. So let's say you want to use your date to create a unique ID for your product for your product column. We use the function called equals to array formula. Then we are bringing it from our date table. We want our date table to create that unique ID for us. Then you want to give it either space or dash or hyphen, anything you want to give it. So, and you have to wrap this up, dash, and so from where we want to create an ID for our product column. So to now we've created a ID, unique ID for our products. So you can decide, oh, I don't want this dash, I want it to be space instead of dash. You can decide to remove the dash and give it just space. Array formula will also give you space. You can decide, oh, this space is too small, I want double space. You can give it double space and array formula will still give it to you. You can decide, oh, I don't want this, I want maybe an hyphen. You can do the same thing, it's going to give it to you. So anything you call it, anything you call out for it, is just to create a space between your IDs and your product, so they won't be together. So that's what this does in array formula, creating a unique ID. So query allows you to manipulate data with SQL like commands directly within your spreadsheet. If you ever worked with a data set, the data will feel familiar. Queries enables you to select, filter, sort, group, and aggregate data from a specified range, providing a flexible and dynamic way to analyze your information. So, for example, we have SQLite clauses, which is select, that specifies which columns we choose, where this is filters rows based on specific conditions, group by groups rows that have the same value in specified column, pivot, order by, limit, offset, leave and format. Then we also have the aggregate function under used used we select on group by, which is the sum, the average, the count, the max, and the mean. So for example now, we want to select all data where region is east and we want to order it by our day. All data where region is east and we want to order it by day. So we use our query function equals to query. So we are selecting all our data sets here because we want to select all data, which is our A to E, A to E. Then we want to select it. We want to select A, B, C, D, and which is our date, region, product, quantity, and revenue. So where B, which is our region, is equals to east, and we ought to order it by our date. So this is what to give us. So what we did is that we selected all the column, which is A to B, A to E, from our sales sheet. Then we called out a value, the region, which is the east region, and they sorted it by date. So everything in our product is from our region east, and we ordered it by our date and wanted our date to be our first column. So this is what query does. So for example, we want to replicate a pivot like summary. So suppose you want to summarize the total revenue by region in Excel, you use a pivot table. But in Google Sheet, you use query. So suppose we want to write queries that select the region and they sum the revenue and group the result by region and they label the output column for clarity. What we want to do is we want to write a query that selects our region and sum the revenue and group the result by region. So that's what we are doing here. Equals to query the sales table, the select statement, which is B, then we sum it by the revenue, then we group by the label, which is the region, then we sum and we call it total revenue. So we say equals to query the data is A to A, comma. Then after writing the data, which is A to E, we'll select it, we select it by the B, which is the region. So we write our select statement. Mm. So what are we selecting? We are selecting our B, which is the region column. Then after it, we sum it by our revenue, which is the group, which is the E. Then after we sum it, what are we doing next? We want to group it. So after grouping, we label it. And what the label does is that it gives the output clarity to understand what we did. For example, total revenue. then comma. We're calling it out by total revenue. Then this is what it gives us. We grouped it, then we summed it, then we called our heading total revenue. This is equivalent to pivot table in Excel.